Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup. We are all set to go, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Dak going to start out going to the air. And this intercepted on the first play of the game. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Once again, it's Swift. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. This defense for the Cowboys, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? Third and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on third and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. The kick by Elliott is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Kevontae Turpin now to return. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Not the way they wanted to begin things. You had the interception on the first play of the game. The good news, it only led to 3 points.
And remember our conversation with him prior to the ball game? He said they had something special designed for the first play. It didn't hit. Let's see if he can rebound from it and not let it get him down.
A second down throw for Prescott. Drops this underneath for Pollard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. You look at this Eagle defense. Against the pass, they've had some issues. Ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
When they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league. So there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd and 9. Play action now. Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
On third down, it's Prescott. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. The Eagles at 500 now, 4-4 on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Third and 2. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. DeAndre Swift with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to widen their advantage. Well, they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? And maybe you have to be stern with it, but whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
2nd and 10. Throwing, Prescott. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Hurts. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Hurts sets up to throw it. Flush to his right. Oh, a Cardinal sin there. Thrown back over the middle, and it's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. Their tough spot is the spot that they're in. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line. Well, they were obviously backed up. Had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still try to throw it. And
yeah, exactly. This is where hindsight is 20/20 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise them and catch them off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover and put your defense in a bad spot. He's already scored once. He definitely had his eyes wide open trying to get in there a second time, but I thought that was a really nice play defensively to deny him.
Yeah, it was. As you said, keeping him away from his second first-quarter touchdown there. Swift again. And this time he'll lose yardage as the defense not giving him any room to operate. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Well, throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Prescott to throw it. Oh, and that is incomplete. You look at this Eagle defense. They come into this one ranked #5 in the NFL against the run.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 23. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he'll get what he can up the middle. 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
From the 47 now, they'll work with a 2nd and 7. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. Then they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half, because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's on the Pro Bowl guard from Notre Dame, Zach Martin. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run, because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Kill.
Prescott off play action. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Offenses all over continue to be aggressive, and most people never turn down a shot at a deep ball. But oftentimes it attracts a little bit of extra attention, and it did on that play, and that one got knocked away.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Here's Prescott. Here's a screen now for Pollard. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Kill.
Running behind center with Vaughn. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Jordan Davis, just a monster on that play, stopping it from going anywhere. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs. They have to...
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to get it back here just past the 35. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Right back to Swift again on second down. Down the left sideline. DeAndre Swift. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DeAndre Swift with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
You get in a second and long situation down here in the red zone. I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass. Let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground. And he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Elliott good on the extra point. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Kevontae Turpin now from his end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Running right, it's Pollard. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And he bats it away and it falls down incomplete.
Thus far, they've been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
On is the punter, Brian Ager, to kick this one away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is brought in at the 21. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is... And now off to the races down the right side. DeAndre Swift. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DeAndre Swift on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles continue to pull away here in this first half. Elliott now to add the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. On the return, this is Turpin. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. On 1st and 10, Prescott. On the out route, it's Lamb with a grab. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And across the midfield, stripe into Eagle territory.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 4. Now Prescott. That's dumped off to Pollard. Dances by him. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Pollard going to try the right side. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go, 46.
Looking to throw. Prescott. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Go to 54, go to 54. Why?
To throw is Prescott. That's caught once again by Gallup. And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Hey, kill.
Prescott from the gun. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Might have to stretch for this one. This is 4th down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here. No,
if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one. But I don't think they're built like that.
Go to 54, go to 54. Why?
Prescott on 3rd and goal. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop it.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
And his kick is indeed good. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 212 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Eagles. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Cowboys free.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Third quarter starts with a run from Swift. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And this is going to be an Eagles first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
Here's Hurts to throw. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 35. Well, hold everything here because this is about the last guy that they would want to see shaken up. Quarterback Jalen Hurts in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Here's a handoff to Swift running left. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. And tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Ready?
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he'll take this one down to the 36. A minimal gain there on the 8th play in the drive.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Now it's the backup Mariota. Out to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
At their own 21-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible, let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
And my goodness, another interception. The safety Terrell Edmonds picks it. And the Eagles are in great shape here as they take over at the 30. Here, just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so you don't get another one picked off.
It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win, because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Here's Mariota. And his first throw here is incomplete.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen. But this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
Elliott on for the field goal. A 56-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting at?
They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick, and the return will stop right around the 25. Well, they definitely figured out something defensively at halftime, Charles. That's now 2 drives and 2 interceptions here in this third quarter.
And I think the easy thing for us to say is, boy, they made an adjustment, didn't they? Or they showed him something different. I'm not so sure it's that as much as maybe he's just been impatient and forced the ball a little bit. In any event, as you noted, back-to-back interceptions thrown. We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
First down, and they go with Swift again. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DeAndre Swift, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Set, go.
On play action, Lance. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third.
Set, hut.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Striker, 3-3. Black Ultra. Ready?
Here's Lance to throw it. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
A gain of 13 yards. First down, Cowboys.
Here's Lance. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Again, it's Lance. He finds his man, Pollard. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 35. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
Red, yellow.
Lance looking to throw it. Pollard here once again, back-to-back catches. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Drill green. Set.
On second down, here's Lance. This pass complete to Pollard on the out route. And down inside the 15 he goes. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop. I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Watch out now. 50 Fury. Set.
And Lance now to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. This has been a long drive. You know that defense, they're craving to get off the field. They were able to force it free, but couldn't recover.
Yeah, and on the offensive side of the ledger, they were thinking about how do we punctuate this drive with 6, right? Making an exclamation point. Instead, you got to put a question mark next to this drive now after the fumble, even though they recovered it.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early.
Got it.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Black shot.
To throw, it's Lance. And this one is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. In the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand. A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And this offense on 3rd down today, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. And they'll stay on the ground with Gainwell again. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Ready?
Lance now on 1st down. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Here we go, sack.
And they take a knee.
Ready up.
And they will take a knee here. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Eagles, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3.